Yes, so Hairless here. Today we're back with another DIMASH reaction, and this is Screaming. I've been recommended both the music video and this live version from Beijing 2021. And it's this live version that seems to be the more popular request. The video that we'll be watching is a link that has been provided to me a number of times in the comments. As always, the other version, the music video, that is also on my list for a reaction in the future. The lyrics are in English. I looked them up. They seem to be very pained lyrics and a lot of lines going, ah, so as to mimic screaming, I'd guess. A lot of the comments recommending this song to me said that it is one of his pop songs. I was going through all the comments that recommended this actually, and I'm a bit confused because there are a couple that say it's a metal song, quite a few that say it's a rap song. Maybe I shouldn't be confused because DIMASH can do everything. I guess I'm just intrigued by the different descriptions of this song that we're getting. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it.
Trying to turn my heart into stone, put up resistance to me, so I let you go. But the love inside just won't subside again. Stay far from you, rips me from the scenes in it. I'm fighting to believe you remember me. I'm screaming, why can't you hear me? I'm screaming, why can't you feel me? I'm screaming.
Oh, there comes countertenor / male soprano DIMASH. That seemed to be the chorus there, so I think let's do a pause now. And if you notice some kind of clicks in the audio, that is in the video itself. Alright, well, let's go over and discuss what we've heard so far. If you don't want to hear my analysis, go to the timestamp. The opening, I mean, it was very sudden. That was how the video started. But there was an immediately interesting harmonic progression. Here, we're coming off G major. And because of the build-up as well prior to that, I'm then expecting to hear C major, or its relative minor, A minor, but we get A major. So it is kind of related to what we might be expecting, but in an unexpected manner. And then when that happens, I'm thinking, oh, the music, it's quite synth wavy. And this effect is then immediately removed for obvious reasons here.
I feel trying to turn my heart into stone.
What tone on the word there, stone. Blended voice with more air coming out towards the end of the note. We all know I love his airy voice. See, there's like a good 2 seconds there at the end where it's just air coming out that he's producing. We've got a textural reduction. We get these synthy strings sounding kind of unnatural. A standard 4-chord piano pattern, no beat. It just means that there's more focus now on his voice at the start of the song, which allows for growth later on. It's definitely interesting, considering the instrumental opening that we had was very full on. And then this more full on instrumental sound does come in shortly afterwards again, leading up to the chorus. And the rhythmic drive is coming from the rhythms chosen in the backing. I'm just going to call them synths. It's a dactylic rhythm, we can call it. But it's quite blurred, but that's how I hear it. This just means that you have one stressed beat followed by 2 quicker unstressed beats. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. And then we get the chorus, and it sounds a bit reserved. Although he's still singing high. You know, he's singing this A up here, which is the top of a tenor range. But there are higher harmonies as well in the background to thicken the sound a bit, such as... and lower harmonies too. So a lot of voices that we're hearing. Yeah, and then we paused when we got to the countertenor / male soprano Dimash. So let's carry on.
Such a gruesome scene is your blend of speechlessness, every part of me. But the only thing that can from me is love for their world to see. I'm screaming out.
Oh, okay. Chorus number 2, higher this time. I'll touch on why I think that's interesting in just a moment. If we move back a little bit from where we carried on last time, we get this pure angelic falsetto sound from Dimash. And I think it creates a very strange contrast with the very modern sort of agitated, stressed offbeats underneath. Like here, it's not really a mixture of sounds you'd expect to hear. And just before Dimash hits the highest local note, we hear more dissonances in the offbeat stressed chords, or at least they're sticking out to me more now. Maybe there's more emphasis on them, but they're more clashy, you know, scrunchy, to up the traction a little bit. That's where we get his local high. A D up there. For context, that's one note higher than the expected top of a soprano's range. And then when he starts singing words again after this section, I'm just hearing how many layers there are, you know, especially in the backing track. What have we got there? So aside from the obvious ones like the percussive bass, the beat, which is full of syncopations, hemiolas, etc. So there's a synth part just playing some very simple alternating chords with equal rhythms. And there was also this... I'll call it like a running synth part up above, playing very rapid flurries. And I'm sure if you listen to this again and again, you'll start to hear more parts. There's a lot, basically, I think. But they're all treated differently. They're very, very subtle, quiet. So overall, we don't feel it's overbearing. And then in the build up to the chorus, the bass part is very important. We're hearing this rising stepwise motion, which is naturally building up towards something, rising, usually associated with growth. But then at the end, it goes back down. So split into 4, it sounds like... And moving back down to this E, this is like a mini reset. We hit it and then we think, okay, we're going to do the same again. But then just before the second chorus where we paused, notice how that last note, that E at the bottom, it's not included now. It's not there, and that's because we don't need to reset anymore because we're going into this climactic chorus moment. And that's where we got to. So I think let's carry on. We're about 2/3 of the way, so we'll go to the end. okay. At any given moment in that song, there's no way I would have known what would have happened next. Overall, I don't think that's my favourite song of his, but there's definitely a lot of cool things in there and stuff that make you go, wow. Yeah, so let's go back over some final points from that last third, where we paused before as he started to sing the chorus higher. So it's now here instead of here. So 5 notes above. I was going to say that's quite unusual, singing a chorus differently melodically. Not just the harmony part, but the actual melody is changed quite significantly. But I don't know, maybe this does happen more often than I can think of right now. Either way, a bit of a surprise. And he gets these nice little grace notes in there. So where he kind of flicks off a couple of additional notes to break the standard stepwise descending scale motion. A bit later on, I like this bit where he's gradually moving up. So now I'm thinking, okay, is he going to keep going up? And this is that blended voice of his, very head voice dominated, but it's the one that I say he often uses for more pained moments in his songs. Is he going to keep going up? He did, only very quickly though, because then he reverts this long rise we've had with this quite dramatic run down. It's crazy. He sings so many different notes so quickly and it's quite Eastern sounding. And this is because some of the notes that he's using here don't fit in with what we might expect based on the scales we're used to. The scales we're used to, these are basically Western music scales, which a lot of pop music uses today. So he does this run down. And then to come back up using nice syncopation. Again, to break up any sort of consistency we might be feeling, which I doubt we are because he's been changing everything up. For example, that run down we literally just heard. But he's making sure to just get variety in there, some rhythmic contrast. I feel it ups the urgency of what we're hearing. And then here, they show the audience. Not sure who these folks are. Is that just a school uniform or is it something more military? Anyway, it's nice audience participation. You see the dancers doing the claps.
Why can't you hear me?
All the other instrumentations reduced to emphasize that. And then for Dimash to go crazy. So he's gone up to here. I haven't said this in a while, but that's the top note from the famous Queen of the Night aria. And then this diva dance type moment. And finally, then right at the end, just like I thought the harmonic choice that we heard right at the opening was quite interesting or peculiar, or unexpected, should I say. It's the same here with the ending, but coming in the form of this chromatic inflection. Which coupled with his piercing high note there, I think it's an ending of unresolution emotionally, perhaps because this song is a pained song. He is literally screaming. It's not a happy ending, to say the least. Yeah, that was definitely an interesting one, definitely. Some very cool elements in there, some very interesting elements in there. Some parts I preferred to other parts. But I guess my main takeaway and the main surprising thing for me was how it's a mix of so many different styles, or at least musical elements that are typical of different styles. Overall, not really like anything else I've heard by him, but if you take section by section, definitely similar to other works by Dimash I've heard before. Yeah, very interesting. As always, thank you very much for watching. Would appreciate a like and subscribe. If you enjoy my content, want to support me, join the community or vote on future polls, you can do so by joining the YouTube membership or Patreon linked below, and I will see you next time.